welcome to my channel. So Judgment Day has arrived. First of all, I don't want to do a video that's like a recap of everything that happened on the finale, because I see videos that they do like play by play on everything that happened, and I'm watching and I was like, I know what happened. I don't need to watch a step-by-step of what happened. So in this video, I would like to discuss the finale, giving you my thoughts, and hopefully hear your thoughts in the comment section. So let's get started. I knew as soon as they got on that plane that erupted from the volcano, that they will go back to 2013 when everyone was alive. Like everything was a test for them. The whole, Ben forgiving Angelina, and then them, all of them solving the callings, that was just a test for them to be able to go back to 2013. Like when Ben was about to shoot Angelina and then he drops the gun and, picks her up from the floor and rescues her. Even though he didn't hear Olive's plea on the phone saying, Dad, you have to forgive her, you have to forgive her, he knew that it wasn't up to him to give her her judgment day. It was up to, the higher forces. But still, now that I'm thinking, Ben never said he forgave Angelina. He saved her, he rescued her, he didn't kill her, but he never said, I forgive you. I forgive you for killing my wife. So, I think Ben still holds a little bit of a grudge. And Angelina was still on that whole nonsense that she was the chosen one. First of all, that chick has been driving me bananas for the past few seasons. I was so annoyed by her. She's like, I just want to like punch her in the face and get her out of the show. Not the actress, but the character of Angelina. I was just like, oh, I understand we need a villain, an antagonist. So she thought because she was given the sapphire, she was the chosen one and she had to work with Cal. And I thought it was so smart of the writers to give the sapphire to two different people in the extremes, because, Angelina is that type of religious extremist, and then Cal is more of the chill, calm guy. So it was interesting to see that two people with the same power use that power for different reasons. And Ben said, it's not about you having power, it's what you do with that power. It's about using it for good. And Angelina just used it for bad. And it makes you think, nowadays, so many people in power that are just using the power that they have towards bad when they could be using it towards good. Probably the funniest scene of the finale was when Angelina burst into ashes. First of all, the way everybody, some people were, cracking with the like fire, almost like a volcano, and then, burst into ashes. I was kind of like, ooh, this is creepy. But when it happened to Angelina and Ben looks down, Josh Dallas, I don't know if he did it on purpose, but the look on his face was just like priceless, because she's like, poof, and then the ashes are on the ground and he looks down like, almost like, good riddance. It was about time. And then the fact that people are just like walking over her ashes, people are just like, don't even bother about bringing a vacuum. No Roomba here, just leave it on the floor. So when they got out of the plane in 2013 after Judgment Day, I didn't know if they would remember what happened, if they would remember anything about the, solving the callings, or if they would think it was all a dream. So I really like that the writers plotted for them to remember everything, but not the people that survived. And not just, people that survived. It was basically like non-passengers. And you see, like Ben is talking to Grace about having, baby number 3. And then TJ, that was a funny scene too. TJ seeing little Olive. She comes with her book. She's like, I'm halfway done. And the look he gives to little Olive, it's such an awkward, uncomfortable look, because he sees this little girl and he's like, I kissed you. And then they bring out Violet, who, to be super honest, I do not remember who Violet is. please, like, refresh my memory in the comments below. I have no clue who this Violet is. She looks familiar, her name sounds familiar, but I don't know who she was in the show. But, you know, I think TJ just needs to wait a few more years till Olive grows up. Look, if Al Pacino can have a kid at 83 years old, if Robert De Niro can have a baby at 78, if Leonardo DiCaprio only dates women that are 25, 26 or under, I think TJ, it's okay to wait a few more years for Olive. And then we see Jared and Drea meet up outside, and he's like, hey, rookie. And she's like, I'm not a rookie, which I really loved how it was played out, even though I was Team Jared and Michaela the whole time. But I felt like in the other timeline on Judgment Era, the fact that Michaela broke up with Jared just so he could be a dad, you know, to Drea's baby, it was so forced. It was not right because he obviously was still super madly in love with Mick. So I felt that the fact that Mick pushed Jared to be with Drea, even though he didn't want to, and she's like, no, you have to be with your baby's mama, and he's like, I love you, and she's like, no, that's the right thing to do. It felt so pushy and forced. So I'm so happy that, you know, back in 2013, Drea and Jared were able to, you know, will be able to like build a relationship. And the best pun of the finale when Mick is breaking up with Jared again at the airport, and she tells him, you gotta have hope. Huh? Because the name of the baby will be Hope. So when she said, you gotta have hope, I was like, oh, no pun intended, but pun intended. And then Mick gets to see Zeke again. He's, by the way, like the cutest, most handsome cab driver I've ever seen. No offense to cab drivers out there, but I mean, Zeke, I would take his cab anytime over Uber. So they have their little, like, Mick and Zeke, their little banter. So if you're a fan of Mick and Zeke, I'm sure you were happy. But I don't know, the whole time I was still Team Jared. I didn't think Zeke and Mick had a lot of chemistry. I think like Michaela and Jared had so much chemistry. And I just found out, because I was looking for pictures for this video, that they were dating the actress Melissa Roxburgh or something and J.R. Ramirez. They're dating in real life. Oh, what a hot couple, by the way. Oh my gosh, that makes me so happy. And now I understand why they had so much chemistry. If you go on their Instagram page, they just recently went to Fiji. Beautiful pictures, and once again, oh my god, what a good looking couple. I'm so happy for them. And then we see Van, who, you know, also doesn't remember anything, which made me a bit sad because I really liked his friendship with Ben. So I hope they'll, you know, in this new timeline, they will reconnect in some way. Maybe when Vance is investigating 828, because, you know, there are some passengers missing. Let's address the elephant in the room. Speaking of passengers missing, where is Daly, the captain? Like, are you not gonna like question anything about like what you just a co-captain comes out of this plane? And what I thought was really weird, if somebody can explain to me, or if you have a theory, let me know why Cal didn't remember anything, because little Cal comes out with Salmi's computer and is like, hey ma'am, you forgot this, and gives it to her. He doesn't remember anything, but everyone else does. Why? Also, did they shoot that scene with the little boy, the actor, years and years ago? Like, did the creators knew that that scene was going to happen, or that was CGI? Did they really CGI that kid's face? Speaking of Zombie, her and Ben have that little, you know, that little thing. And then when they talk about it the next day, Ben says that he would never be over Grace. Look, Ben, are you going to be single for the rest of your life? Are you never gonna find love again? You never gonna remarry? Your wife died. Yes, that's sad. But when you said, I'm never gonna be over Grace. I suspected right then and there that they will bring their loved ones back. And also because Mick never really got over Zeke. You know, he kept showing up to her. You know, she was still so like, you know, she couldn't move on from his death. I think we're gonna have, you know, Grace and Ben and Mick and Zeke back together somehow. Now, I know a lot of people are questioning why flight 828? Why not 827 or 829? Like, you know, Cal asked. Even Michaela, when that Black Reaper shows up in the plane, she's like, why us? Why us? And I wish there was a meaning behind it, but I guess the divine consciousness just closed his eyes and then picked a plane or rolled the, you know, the bingo balls and picked like 8, 2, 8. But then if this judgment day was indeed a test to prove who's good and who's bad, why not do it to the whole world? Why not test the whole humanity? Why only 191 people? Because I think the divine has the power to test everyone. It was funny when they all ganged up together in the plane. They were like locking arms and they're like, we did this, this, and this. This guy solved the murder. This one, he prevented a human trafficking ring. This one saved the boy from drowning. Isn't this enough? Isn't enough? At one point, I was like, are you just bragging now? Are you just like listing all the good things that you did just to get out of this judgment day? Because, you know, we know some people out there that do good deeds just to look good, you know, themselves, just for the gram. I've seen people that, you know, volunteer at soup kitchens, or they go help out the homeless and they take selfie with the homeless and, hey, I gave the homeless a sandwich. Look at me, look at me. So I don't like when people brag about doing good deeds, because you have to be good when no one is watching. And what about all the callings in the past? Are they still going to happen? Because if all the passengers still have their memories, they know that stuff is going to happen. Like, they know there's a human trafficking ring somewhere. Are they going to try to stop that? Or the call-ins were literally just a test? Overall, I thought part 2 of the last season was a bit too long. I could have done with maybe like 7 or 8 episodes, maybe 6. I thought 10 was too much. I was getting annoyed by all the callings and the savings. It's just like, because I remember past seasons, the solving of the callings were so exciting because we were putting the puzzle pieces together with them, and you know, their twists and turns. And then this part 2 was just like, oh, another calling. It was just like, oh, the callings were boring. So I think 10 episodes were a bit too long. What I enjoyed most about the show were the lessons and the moral of it all. I know Olive said something like, hearts are being weighted against a feather, not good versus evil. But what I took from the show was we all have a life scale. Remember that carving on the rock? There was the volcano and, you know, a scale. So at the end of your life, or even right now, if you look at your past, how is your balance looking? It's good outweighing the bad? Have you done more good than bad? And once again, when you die, how do you want your scale to look like? And like Ben said, no one's perfect. We're not perfect beings. So there'll be days that, yeah, we're gonna do some, you know, some bad. We're gonna use our partner as a punching bag. We're going to be a bad friend. We're going to be, you know, a not very attentive daughter. But then at the end of your life, you want the good to tip over the bad. So that's what I took from the show. Thank you, Netflix, for saving the show. We the fans needed it. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Were you satisfied with the way the show ended? Or do you still have a lot of questions? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and also hit the little bell notification button so you don't miss any future videos. And I'll see you next time.